Coffee in. I'm coming. I'm here. If anyone's listening, if anyone's joining, I am live. So I'm just grabbing my coffee. Oh, yes, Tom's here. Sorry, guys. Ran off to go grab a coffee. Definitely need it. It's been a long week. So, hi, guys. I'm supporting you. My name's Thomas Parkinson, supporting you with your Amazon business. Drop your comments or questions down below. Obviously, if there's anything you're doing, should say struggling with, I can probably give you a bit of support. If you don't know, I do run 2 7-figure Amazon businesses. And also like to travel quite a lot. Right now, if you want to know, I'm in the Philippines. I'm on an island called Palawan, which is beautiful, and obviously really support. I love that as well. So let's just kind of make sure we're actually going live and everything's actually working. Tom needs to check stuff. I think we're live on there, so that's called hide. Fantastic. I will just check 2 seconds that we're actually live onto here we go. So I think we're just joining on Instagram. So if you guys are on Instagram, I can see it. I can see it right there. And obviously, ask me any questions if you've got them. There he is. Well, hey, I know. Sorry, I ran away. I was literally running away. I'm out in El Nido right now, and I was like, right, I need some coffee. Really need some coffee so badly. It's like what 5:30 a.m. wake ups. Let me know if you wake up at 5:30 in the morning, or what time do you guys wake up? I'm very interested to know about that. So let's kind of go through. Let's kind of give you a little update on the business. I can see if you're on Instagram, I can see you there. So, or if you're coming in down there, let me see if I can actually make. Is it actually working here? It's going to be good fun, isn't it? We'll see if we can get the old Instagram. Hey, I think it's working. So Madge joined, Phil Pole joined, Like a Sad joined, the Notorious Beast, CBG, Saurish1 joined, Echo Luke joined. Hey guys, if you've got questions on Instagram, do feel free to ask. Obviously, I'm here as well, and I can see you. I have you on my feed as well. G Lee, hey, thumbs up, thumbs up. Cool. Let me just give you a quick question or quick thought through. So a couple of things. I asked a question on Twitter today, which has come back quite interestingly. Should we scale or should we focus more on process improving profitability? And I think if I just kind of clarify, it posed a really good question. And the reason why I asked this question is because it's something that we're really thinking about right now within my business itself, is scale to 8 figures or grow margin. That was something I asked. A lot of people started to replying back to it. And it's a question I'm going to ask you, like, do you want to grow? If you're maybe on 6 figures right now, are you thinking about growing to 7, for example? Is that something you want to do? Or perhaps maybe you want to become more efficient in your business. A lot of the problems that people have right now within their Amazon businesses is, I could drop it down, scale to 8 figures or improve margin. That's a question I'm going to ask you guys. Scale to 8 figures or improve margin. Let me know your thoughts down below. And the reason why I asked this question, because I think it's a really good question, and the fact that a lot of time we think about growing bigger. It's gonna, yeah, bigger numbers are great. Obviously, people really like that. But I think also as well, the other question comes down is like, is it really going to add value? Is it something going to be worthwhile? The question I kind of also around it is like, is it something that you really want? Like at the end of the day, I travel pretty well now on 7 figures. If I go to 8 figures, what does that mean to me? So let me ask you guys questions: scale to 8 figures or improve margin? Let me know in the comments down below. And obviously, if you've got any other questions, I will answer them. Let's go jump through. Facebook user says, hello, Facebook user. Bab, we have a fun VAT question. Oh, everyone, isn't VAT fun? Definitely, I couldn't agree with you more. We are VAT registered. Say we purchase a product for $19.99, set on Amazon for $39.99. How much VAT would we have to pay? I know I usually put one against the other. I just think could be potentially working out wrong. So if we're going to do straight, I mean, literally, like I'm doing straight computations on the VAT, nothing including Amazon fees, for example. So when you buy, assuming that the product is a 20% VAT product, so assuming you bought a product at 20% VAT, if I get my calculator out, so if you're going to buy it 19.99, you're going to divide it by 1.2 because you've paid 20% tax on it. So the actual price of the product that you purchased was 16.65. So the 19.99 was you paid 16.65, and if I just minus 19.95 off that, that means you paid £3.29 VAT. So I need to get my, oh my God, I need to like write that down. 329. So you paid what's known as input tax on that of 329, and then on your output, which is what's known as your sale, should we say? So you did 39.99 divided by 1.2. So your product actually sold for you at £33.32 plus VAT. So minus again, so what's that? 39.99. You're going to be paying you're owing that 667, for example, just rounding up, 667. So basically you paid £3.29 VAT on the purchase, which you can claim back, but on the sale, you owe 667. So when you do 6.67 minus 3.29, you're going to be, sorry, I'm actually typing that into my notepad, not into the calculator. Get it right, Tom. You're going to be getting what? You're going to owe £3.38 VAT. So £3.38 VAT on that. Why? Because you owe £6.67 on the sale of the product, but you've already paid some VAT on the purchase, so you just pay the difference. Does that make sense, old Bab? That's what I'm kind of. That's the way I'm calculating it. That's the way I believe it to be correct. And because you've already paid some on the purchase, you can reclaim that. You can reclaim that off the price of the sale. Hope that makes sense. Let me know, Bab. My reason for asking is spreadsheet is 1 second. Oh wow, a lot of couples coming on Instagram. Sorry guys, I am seeing them on Instagram. I just update a little while. My reason for asking is our spreadsheet is way off what SAS calculates, and the SAS settings are for VAT registered seller. Yeah, so I hope that kind of makes sense. You just basically you divide it by 1.2 and shows you what the real price of the product is, and then the difference is the VAT. That's the way it's going to be. Or I think you can divide it by 0.2, and that'll tell you what the VAT is. So yeah, and then obviously you should be able to do it. So if you get a number from that divided by 0.2, that'll work. So old Bab, let me know if that helps you out. That's obviously going to be supporting you as well. Just check that, do that method. And then obviously that'll tell you. If I kind of just get it right, 1 second, I want to check something. 39.99 divided by 0.2 divided by, no, it's going to be divided by 1.2 because 20%. Yeah, so I kind of do like divide by 1.2 and then just work out the difference. I just do that. It doesn't work. I'd have to redo the calculation somehow, but I don't generally work out the VAT due. That's not what I'm really doing. I'm working out the cost of the goods. So let me know if that helps out, old Bab. Let's go and jump over to Instagram, the notorious BCG. Do you do wholesale or private label? No, all 100%. So two businesses right here, both arbitrage, 100% arbitrage. That's all we're doing. We have done a bit of wholesale down here, this one. And the reason why we have done a bit of wholesale is the fact that it's going, we tried it or we tested it and it was okay. We weren't as profitable as we were in the OA business. It was more complexity. We had to call up suppliers, negotiate discounts, which is okay. But we could still spend the money, and we were coming into Q4 and we said, look, let's just make this business easy. Why are we going to Q4? So we restructured slightly and we continued doing, we stopped doing wholesale. Now, what was interesting in the wholesale game was that those products we bought, admittedly, we'd only started probably about 160,000. A lot of them were deals that we just weren't interested in. Like they cost us money. So just be mindful of that. We but I do know like Amazon Lit and Watch Me Amazon do a very good job on wholesale. But coming back to the point here, and if I just kind of scroll up, notorious, do you do wholesale or private label? No, it's only thing. We might do wholesale in the future, but I doubt it. Private label, probably rarely not. Why? It's still Amazon ecosystem. I'm not too interested. And private label is quite different to wholesale, or is very different to OA, I would say. Whereas wholesale, you can create unique bundles. Pardon me, which is a bit like wholesale. So yeah, E-Wing Luke said, so by improved margin, you mean sell items with higher ROI, or do you mean shrink overhead and grow efficiency? Actually, should we say we'd probably like to grow, product base, improve margin, absolutely fine. But we'd also, and this comes back to the question, if you guys want to know, the question I'm asking is scale to 8 figures or improve margin. And the reason, and what I'm really going to say is probably more efficiency growth. So the best analogy I can talk about is that in your Amazon business, it's going to be a leaky bucket. You're going to have holes in it. You're going to be losing money through that. And if you you can scale and you can improve, should we say, you can have problems with the leaky bucket, should we say. So for us, we're really looking at trying to reduce down like that. We're trying to improve our efficiency, reduce down fraud, for example. It's not really something we get, but maybe improve cashbacks, improve the use of voucher codes, improve how we do those processes, and also in turn improve ROI sourcing as well. But I don't, like, that's something that I was thinking about as well, like not just keep scaling, but actually try and solve holes in the bucket and improve margin. Hope that makes sense. Ooh, it's getting quite nice out there. It is. If you guys want to know, I'm going to make you a little bit jealous. Sorry. Look at this. I'm out in. Can I show it to you? 1 second. Tom, you got Tom's face right now. You see this? I'm out in Palawan. There's my GoPro, and out there is. Let's see if I can move back. There's loads of lovely islands out there. Yeah, it's very nice. The sea has gone out. The sea has gone out. So it's a low tide at the moment, but it's very beautiful. I look out the window. I'm like, ooh. Right. Let's go jump back over to Instagram quickly. Qasim, so what do you do if you buy a product but scans as a different product? How do we avoid what we do? So sometimes it does work. Sometimes just you really got to check that those products are exactly the same product. If not, then obviously make sure you've got to list it as the right product. But if it scans slightly differently, it does happen sometimes. Just make sure you use what's it called? Amazon barcode, so you can put a sticker over it, and that's going to really support you in when Amazon scans it, because they'll now go to the right product, not the wrong one. So I hope that makes sense. Let's go through Rigmore. What's the best private label or wholesale model? Absolutely up to you. I'd probably say if I was going to do wholesale, why just a quicker turnaround in stock. Private label, I think, is a bit, it's a big learning curve. I spoke to someone the other day, like, you're probably going to need 5 figures to get launched, and you're probably going to fail 5 times. I was like, wow. And that's to do a really big private label project. So it's not easy, but I like wholesale. I like OA, the fact that you can just keep going. I just opened a seller account. I have not been able to find one single product to sell. Everything is restricted. How can we start to sell if everything is restricted? Cannot apply to get engaged. Look in different categories. You think about like the brands you're trying to sell, like Lego, the common ones, everyone's going to try and do them. It's not going to work. So do look at I think it's like DIY, maybe it's like grocery. Those kind of categories are going to be products. They're going to be products that you can sell, brands you can sell. Change the category, change the brands you're looking for. You will find them. They do exist. No sales history. I'm looking to hire a VA. What's the criteria in this hiring for private label? We don't do private label VAs. So unfortunately, it's not something that we do. So I couldn't really give you a criteria. We only do online arbitrage. And if anyone is interested, we do have an offer right now where you're going to get my admin mastery course with every VA that you hire. And this ends on Sunday this week. And basically, it's going to cost you, it's like $997. It's a one-time fee for us. And the VA is going to be sourcing deals for you, pretty much growing your business to over 10,000 in revenue, supporting you in that journey. And the interesting one is that if you're not happy at any point, you can get unlimited replacements, or you can get your money back guaranteed within the first 3 months. So that's something that we do to help support you out, and it's for the arbitrage side. So I hope that makes sense. On the old Instagram. Let's go jump through. Your last 12 month sales is ridiculous. Have you mentioned roughly your margins for any video lives, or is it closely guarded secret? Generally, UK is about 5% and US is about 10%. Sometimes, so to give you an idea, it's a great question. In regards to like throughout the year, we probably operate a little bit lower, like sometimes like 4, should we say? That's net margins. So that's what we take home. But then the other one we get is whereby Christmas will just pick up, say like 6%. So because of higher ROI. So what we see is that those products will kind of even out and generally looking around about 5% across the board. I say that though, sometimes we get a little bit higher, sometimes get a little bit lower. Also, as well, it doesn't help if Tom spends all the money. I've done that quite a lot sometimes. So just my team are like, Tom, we had a really good month, but you spent it all. I was like, sorry. When I do a lot of travel, like right now I'm in a hotel, which is great, but I don't get this hotel for free and I'm actually paying for it. So they're like, please don't travel too much. So, but yeah, the sales are great. I'm really happy with them in the US. I think, this one will probably get to we're probably not going to focus too heavily on growing, like aggressive growing, like buy loans and everything, massively like I have done. I'm quite happy to, normalize that. And the reason is we have noticed in our business, there's a lot of efficiency improvements to have. And the reason why I say that is because, I have like 75 staff right now. across 3 companies. And as you grow, you're going to increase headcount, but you're going to increase operational complexity. And if you've got holes in the bucket, it's going to get worse. I'm like, let's refine that. Let's get it better. Let's really know where we're going. So that's going to be something for me that I'm really interested in. Can you write a link? Raimel, so mine is fasttrackfba.com/VA if you are interested on Instagram for VA, but it's not private label, it's only OA. We only do online arbitrage VAs. So I hope that makes sense. So it's Michael, how are you getting on? And also let me know how your margins are happening. So that'd be obviously if I can help you out, if there's anything in particular on those, I can help you as well. She's had quick question on requesting a VAT receipt from an online retail company, for example, Argos. Do you request it on company name or on personal name? And if on personal name, will it be okay for Amazon? You can request on whatever you like. Like it really doesn't matter. Argos are notoriously bad for it. If I put it in perspective, Argos will send you a letter. They'll literally send you a letter in the post for the VAT receipt. It's like, why did you do that? Like, surely that costs you way more than just sending an email. So, yeah, Argos sends you a letter, which is like incredible. And I think for you, should we say, you just request it. It doesn't matter if it's the company name. You don't even ask what name is it. You just say, hi, can I get a VAT invoice, please? A VAT invoice, a VAT receipt. And they'll send it to you, whatever the name was on the account when you ordered. And to be honest, it's absolutely fine for you to have, like, if in my company, when we do VAT returns, the invoices can be on my business name or my personal name. It doesn't matter because I'm a director within the company and there will be times where people make out payments, invoices to me rather than to the company, and that's absolutely fine because I'm a representative of the company. So we've had no problem with that as well. So I hope that makes sense. She's just gonna drink some of my coffee. Okay, I'm gonna try this coffee. It's the first time I've tried this coffee in this hotel, and it's it's the in-hotel coffee in the room. Wait for it. It's gonna be interesting. It's like the powder stuff. It's really black. I'm happy with the blackness of it. It's okay. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. I'll be like, ooh, nah, it's all right. I've drunk enough bad coffee in my life. It's fine. Right. Hi, Tom. What could make a listing? Let's kind of go through. What could? I love this. I'm just going to say, Rim and Digital. I love your questions. I said I don't do private label, and you've just asked me, can you coach me in private label? I'm like, I don't do it. I have no idea. Like, unfortunately, no, I'm not. I can't. I'd go find like other sellers. The Honest Tom, I think it is on Twitter. He seems pretty good. They just released a course. I met them out in Madrid. They seem genuine guys. So go check them out. They seem pretty cool. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't coach on private label. So hi Tom, what could make a listing inactive after you've been selling it really well and suddenly you saw the product got restricted? Could Amazon be at work? Well, definitely Amazon at work. I think one of the things it will be is the fact that probably the brands come on and said, hey guys, like we're not happy with third-party sellers, or maybe Amazon's seeing that, should we say, there's a high return rate, and what they are going to do is they're going to say, no, we need to change that. So what they do is they restrict them. We're seeing a lot, more and more companies or more brands being restricted on Amazon, that were unrestricted previously. We're seeing more. And for new sellers, it's a real problem. But for, should we say, more existing sellers who, number one, have got existing sales history, are generally okay, but number two, because they get auto ungated, which is quite interesting. But number two is the fact that you can just get ungated. Like people know how to do it. It's not very challenging. So everyone's like, oh my God, I'm gated. You're like, nah, that used to be a problem. Not anymore. But also, should we say, the listing inactive could be a problem with the listing, maybe high customer returns rates. That could be something to consider. So I'd probably say look at that. That would be my thoughts. Guys, if you are here on Instagram, do let me know. I'm just going to quickly change that 1 second. My phone, and then I will let you know here. If you're here on, if you are here on Instagram, I can see it right here. Do let me know in the comments down below. Right, let's kind of go through. And obviously I do have Instagram over here. I can see it as well. So Olbab makes perfect sense. I think I sourced OA for the first time the last couple of days. The ROI is pleasant sight after doing wholesale for 2 years. Wow, 2 years. That's definitely. Yeah, obviously 2 years, well done. Why the transition over to whole OA, or why are you looking at OA? Don't get me wrong, like I think wholesale is a great opportunity. You can definitely get very big numbers very quickly because you can buy a massive bulk. You can do it. I just when I looked at it, I was like, the margins just weren't really there for what I was looking at. And admittedly, I've been operating in a different playing field. Um, uh, and then we always had to buy bulk on products to get discount to make it worthwhile. Tom's yawning, need more coffee. We had to buy bulk on products on to get discount, but I didn't think it was. I was like, it could go wrong. It could really go wrong. So I was a bit like, whoa. So yeah, I was very wary of like holding product for a long period of time that wasn't going to make money. But let me know, old Bob, why you're looking at OA. But hey, I'm really interested in that. Definitely need to nail down the sourcing strategy to be more efficient. Agreed. And I think like also as well, like it's a numbers game and people game. And one of the reasons why I really like OA is because people struggle to scale it because you really need a team, and that's about people management. And I like to probably think I'm okay at people management because I've got 75 staff, and that gives a bit of a competitive advantage. Whereas wholesale is less about people management. It is, but you can do big numbers on your own very easily. So I quite like that one. So yeah, it's kind of like each their own, loads of different ways. Let's have a quick look through. Shizad says thanks. Hey Shizad, no problem. Facebook user Peter joined. Hey Peter joined. How are you getting on, Peter? Let me know if there's anything I can do. Guys, drop your comments down below. I will answer them. I'm pretty good at this. Even if you're on Instagram, I can see you on the left hand side over here. We have Instagram. See, Shazad's S3 has joined. Hey Shazad's S3. Let me know if there's anything I could do to help you in your business. So, can you explain the process of setting up an Amazon USA account in the UK, prep centers, taxes, etc.? I'll do you one better. I created a course on it. I documented my entire journey when I did it, and I talked about all the reasons why. Why? It's probably like 20 videos of like 20 minutes each, or 10 to 20 minutes each, that I recorded and put into a course. Fasttrackfba.com. Go to courses and then go to what do you call it? Go to courses and then go to getting started in USA. That's the one. Now, the reason why I say you want to do that is so if I just kind of talk about a couple of considerations you want. When you sell on the USA from the UK, for example, you can do it directly from the UK, but you probably don't want to. Why? The problem is the fact that the majority of sellers are going to reject and cancel your orders, or you can't even place the order because you can't put an international card in. Now, once you realize that actually there's more advantages to opening up an Amazon account, I'm about to sneeze. Hashtag not COVID. Oh, I'm so going to sneeze again. Pardon me. But once you realize that not only are you could not orders are getting cancelled for international companies, you also understand that you get improved cashback, there's really good financing options, and you can also store money in the US and take it out when you want, maybe in a couple of years' time when you want to do that. So you can build that business up. Now, you're really going to look at, should we say, you're going to look at creating a company probably in the US, and that's a very good structure. And we talk about the corporate structure, where to incorporate and why we do all the, not just do this, but the why behind it as well. Talk about corporate structures, we show you the accountants, who you want to consider, who incorporates, what prep centers, what else. How to do cashback, how to get bank accounts, EIN, ITINs, how you go through that process. It's all in the course. So I'd really recommend that. I could be here for hours. Literally, I'm recording it for hours. And I do it in a way that I say, here's what you want to do. Even little things like, here's why you want to create a separate email address. Here's how you do this. And here's a telephone number for virtual telephone numbers. So I would really recommend just buying that course. It costs £97. It's nothing. And it's going to give you all the answers you need. So JOD, fasttrackfba.com, courses, getting started on USA. Do that. It's going to really, really help you out. I hope that makes sense. Let's kind of jump through quickly. JOD, let me know if that answers your question, kind of. I appreciate it's not the whole answer you want, but I could literally spend the entire live talking about it and still not answer all the questions. So I want to kind of give you a way to find the answer and get what you need rather than not. Let's kind of go through. Hi, Graham. Hi, Tom. I think I've heard you say a few days ago your net margin in the UK around 5%. Is that pretty typical return for OA? Maybe. 1 second. So generally, you've got to kind of just understand this is like after everything. So this is what we take out. So like, we do like 3 million, for example, on top line revenue. and then I take out 0.5, 0.25. It's not like take out, it's like, what do my accounts show at the end of the year after the operating of the business? It's about 0.5. Now, a couple of things you've got to consider. Number one, I run the business on 2 hours a week. Both businesses actually on 2 hours a week. I can go up to more, but I generally don't. And why do I tell you that? Because because I run it such a, should we say, at a low number of hours, I generally staff higher because I don't want to be doing, in the business too much. So I probably have I'm less payroll efficient as other people. I also have a big team that costs money. And then in addition to that, what I'm also doing is using a lot of debt, a lot of leverage. You probably see things about credit cards, overdrafts. I really like doing that way because it means I don't really have any money in the business and I get a lot of credit card points and I can travel and I really enjoy that. And that's what I want to do. And I can talk to you guys. So I know people who are doing the OA business probably at a little bit of a smaller scale, who are definitely running at around 10% margin. I think that's absolutely fine, and they're obviously doing a great job on it. But for me, I'm running about 5, and I'd probably say I'm probably one of the least efficient, should we say, sellers on Amazon because of the big team, because of the way we structure it, or should we say that we operate. I'm not part of the day-to-day operations. I'm very much an investor. That's it. And we use a lot of other people's money, which has interest costs on it. So the question around like the 5% return, I wouldn't say it's typical. I'd probably say it's on the lower end. And if you add in things like cashback, you'd probably even top it even higher. Whereas we kind of use cashback for other purposes, like travel, which is cashback is technically a reduction in the cost of goods, which should be included in your P&L, if that makes sense, if you're taking it as a cash. So Graham, it's a great question. But I think you can definitely get like to around 10%. I think that'd be a very viable thing. So if you're, and if I do a good calculation, if you had, let's call it £60,000, and generally it's going to take about 3 months to cycle the money. So really going to take only a third of that. So that'd be 20,000. Because you do 20,000 one month, 20,000 the other, 20,000 the other. So 20,000, you're then going to spend 20,000 stock, sell it for 40, and if you're running a 10% net margin, you'll make about £4,000 net profit out of that. That would be what you could potentially take home, if you say your salary or whatever you want it to be, which I probably say is not too bad, considering you're going to be turning around it's like 48,000 profit per year on a 60,000 investment, and you still have the 60,000. It's not gone. So ROI wise is pretty good. So I hope you understand. Then obviously you can scale on top of that. So let me know if that answers your question down below, Graham. Obviously I can answer that. Jake Turner 10. So I'm so unorganized. What are your thoughts on hiring an admin VA before a sourcing VA? Interesting, my good friend Gavin Sweeney actually mentioned that in his Twitter yesterday. He said he hired an admin VA first. You can do it. And if you want to know, I did it, but I really don't recommend it. The reason why I don't recommend it is because you're probably unorganized because you're spending your time finding products and you can't be bothered with it. And look, some people are fine, like you can do it, but the reason why I don't like it is because when you want to let your foot off the gas, say for example, have a break, and you've got an admin VA, well, what does that mean? It means the admin VA's probably got less work to do now. So then you can never stop. So it feels like an endless slog, and you didn't sign up for a job, you signed up for a business, and the business has some perks with it. But so the reason why I don't recommend it is because it's very easy to hire an admin VA and you're like, cool, now I don't have to worry about this. Now I just focus on buying product. Great, we're really doing well. Then it's like, oh, I want to have a holiday or like a break or slow down. And then like, but I can't because I need to keep this person busy, which is a really bad fallacy. So I do think about, and by the way, I'm not saying you should stop sourcing, but what I am saying is you should have people in your company who can source as well. So that what happens is when you want to slow down, they are keeping the business momentum. The other one I'd say is like, when you source, there's going to be a lot of sourcing you do, which is a bit kind of like boring. Go to all the sales, for example, go to the clearance sections. Those VAs can do that because that's a bit more the boring stuff. Whereas you can do the more complex stuff. Maybe it's like keep a reverse sourcing, looking at new sell accounts historically to see predicting what's going to come up and putting in trigger alerts. That could be an example. So you could do that. That's where you add value. And that's where it's really complex. So again, you can do that. But I think for me, and what I always recommend to people is the fact that if we hire an admin VA first, what you're doing is you're increasing the costs in the business but your problem comes is that you are now you've seen it time and time again where you feel like you have to do it. But if you hire a sourcing VA, the idea is that they're going to keep the business rolling even if you slow down, for example, to focus on another area of the business that needs to be fixed. So it's up to you. You can hire an admin VA, you can hire a sourcing VA. We do both. Admin VAs you need to ask our support. We don't publicly advertise it, but you can definitely hire both, and that is an option for you. So. But I do think it's really up to you. But the majority of people go down sourcing VA first and learn to manage that. And also as well, sourcing VAs are quite easy to manage because they have very clear measurables. Admin VAs are a lot harder. Like if how do you know if an admin VA is not doing the job? Well, obviously if they do it to a poor standard, but like if they're working 2 hours a week or 8 hours 2 hours a day or 8 hours a day, it's quite hard to tell unless you're time tracking them. And I'm not a big fan of that. So generally I'd say build up the business to a point you need an admin VA. You should be able to do it less yourself. Hope that makes sense. Jake Turner 10 on Instagram over here. Guys, if you are on Instagram, I can see you. Yeah, I can see it. Let's go jump through OBAB. We're looking at OA as we keep getting screwed over with wholesale cash flow issues, etc. Then I saw your video with Gravy Saros made us think about OA is better than less capital. Interesting. Yeah, obviously I'm glad those interviews. My God, I wanna take a picture of that. Why? Because why do I say that? Because look at this. Look at this. Wow. And the reason is because I think it's really lovely that the interview. I want to go back to Gravy and Soros and say the interviews you guys have done are sharing great knowledge, giving people food for thought. So thank you all, Bab, for that. I also think the idea is that you're right. Like I think wholesale's great. I think my God, Amazon Lit do a really good job. But all businesses are hard, and I just like arbitrage. I think it's simple. I think it's easy. You can buy less. You can ship more. You can do things, or not ship more. You can. It's just a different kind of business, and I just see high margins in it. So I think that's something that I quite like on it. Wholesale, I struggled with, and I do think you should do simplicity. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, thank you for sharing, Obab. Graham, hi. Is SaaS the same as SellerAmp? Yes, same products, just different names. I think. Don't quote me. I think Al Carton was going to design a series of products, which is going to be called overall SaaS, but SellerAmp would be one in the collection. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, Graham, yes, mate. What did Graham say? Yeah, he did say yeah. Himson, hey Himson, and you're back to the Simpson. Absolutely love it. Hi Tom, I'm trying to list the product, but it comes up with error 85 saying it's generic, not branded. Ooh, I don't really know. Have you tried listening to seller support? It could be the barcode issue. You might want to list like a different product. Could be speak to seller support, see what they say. If not, I'd probably post a bit more of information within the Fast Track FBA Facebook group. That could be helpful as well. But I'm not really too sure. I've never done product listing, if that makes sense. I always do existing ones. So I hope so. Blockchain Society. Hi. Do you see most of your growth in 2023 not from FBA but from Fast Track FBA courses? It's an interesting point. I don't really look at them in that respect, if that makes sense. Like, the way I think of like myself and what we do is we are Amazon sellers first. We provide services, and obviously, if anyone knows, when you do OA or wholesale, you're not really saying, "Hi guys, look at my store." You're looking at things and. I get a lot of questions, by the way, how did we start the VA service? People like, Tom, you know how to hire VAs, can you hire one for me? And then we just got asked so much, we created a service out of it. And I built a team up and, 500 VAs later, 600 probably now, that we were doing the VA Academy and it's worked really, really well. But I think it's a good question. We will probably grow within Fast Track FBA. I think we're looking also at process improvements to improve efficiency. I think the one thing I've seen, if I talk about my company, 3 years ago, we were probably like 15, 20 staff. Then we went to like 35, 40 staff. Then we went from 35 staff up to 85 staff at one point. We literally increased headcount like a rocket ship. It was incredible. But it had a lot of like operational complexities in there. We had to hire people. Amazon is a very new business. You can't just go to like upwork.com and find an Amazon seller and plug them into your business. It doesn't work. Like it's brand new. People don't understand it. If you're gonna build a call center, you can like hire people like tomorrow. It's really easy. Amazon online, remote. My God, this is complex. So you've got to teach people. So yes, we'll see growth within Fast Track FBA. But I think we'll still see way more revenue growth in the Amazon businesses, like way more, because by the way, we're doing 5 million. I'm not, my fast track FBA is not a 7-figure business. But we're doing, we could easily add 1 million on Amazon without even thinking about it. But it's not, but what I do see, and I will share this with you, is I do see my growth in my learning coming from fast track FBA massively. And why? Because a lot of interviewing, a lot of sharing, a lot of understanding, a lot of documenting specific problems we're trying to solve within my own business and how we go through that process and what we're doing and sharing that out. So I think a lot of, and ironically, a lot of the growth in my Amazon businesses will come from the work that I do in interviewing within Fast Track FBA. I do generally believe that, and that's where I want to go. Come to Esther Tamsa, the Leicester official. Not too sure. I'm guessing, is that a place in the Philippines? That's where I am now. It's beautiful. I'll see if I can show you. Can I show you? Look at this. I'm going to make you guys jealous. Look out the window. Lovely. The sea is out, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I will before I go. I promise you, I'll go stick my laptop outside. Blockchain Society. Let me know if that answers your question. Old Bab. What about cashback ads, coupon sites? Do you recommend you use my OA journey? I've read a lot about Rakuten. Yes. Look, cashback, coupon codes, 100%. Really, really do it. But look, before you kind of, by the way, selling on Amazon is like an onion. It's really like an onion. You have so many layers to it which you can do better. Now, what I want you to think about is that before you start thinking about cashback and coupons, you really need to be able to find a good deal, or generally a deal which is decent enough. Once you've got that, adding those should we say cashback and coupons on top is really helpful. On top of that, you can do, should we say, you can look at things like if you're in the US, like tax-free states and how that's going to affect you as well, using prep centers in there. On top of that, you can even look at contacting the supplier, negotiating discounts as well. And then on top of that, you can even look at how you do your repricing strategy, even like your listing strategy, like using coupon codes on Amazon. That's Scott Needham talked about that. There's a lot more to it. That. And what you shouldn't do is you shouldn't look at all these other bits of the layers of the onion first. You should look at the core fundamentals in the middle, get those right, and then start improving your knowledge on the other ones. What you don't want to probably do is start looking at all the other stuff like coupon codes and cashbacks first without finding a good deal. Like I've been there too many times. I've been like, oh wow, like someone's got a really good coupon code or cashback website, and then I've gone sourcing and like, my God, how many of us have seen a coupon code where it's 50% off? And you're like, but the website's insanely inexpensive anyway. You're never going to get profit on it. So start with the fundamentals first, then work your way out of the onion. Hope that makes sense. Good analogy. I just thought of that one. GD, hey, just check my Amazon account now and discovered that it was a result of an IP claim. Yeah, the product was purchased from a popular distributor. We'll upload the invoice and solve the issues. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, you should be able to. Just uploading the invoices might not work. You might need to do a bit of like letter supporting it. If you get problems, fasttrackfba.com/Jeff, not Jeff Bezos, just this guy called Jeff who helps us out. And speak to him. He's really supportive. But otherwise, I think just try it with that thing. Just make sure you put some supporting text with it. That's all I'd say. JD, what's your take on VA supplying gift set leads where they split up the sets to sell multiple individual ASINs? Is this a no because your invoice wouldn't reflect the item? So maybe issues. Maybe I'm not against it. I think if you can work smart, not hard, smart, and that's working, absolutely fine. For that, we've done it before. A classic one, if you're ever in the UK, you ever used to buy Playmobil or Lego, over the Christmas period, they used to ship you the product you want and another product with it all the time. So you kind of do that, and that was a bit, you had the same kind of an issue whereby the invoice said it was free. You can definitely like get a 3-pack and break it up into 1-packs and resell them. That's absolutely fine. It's kind of like a bundle, she say. So I don't really see a problem. We don't really do much of it, and the reason why we don't do much of it, and again probably why our margins are not as good as everyone else's, is the fact that we do more volume selling. So we're looking for efficiency rather than, should we say, focusing on growing the ROI, growing the profit through complexity. So that's why we've been able to scale quick, because we kept the business very, very simple. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I have no problem with it. Let's go to Geely. I guess sellers are at work while Amazon is deactivating that listing. I was the only one that listings before they all joined. I don't know if some sellers are too whacked to report you to Amazon. It does happen, but also the brand can report it. It could be the case that people have listed after. Should we say after the what do you call it? It could be that they've listed after Amazon's come in, if that makes sense. So, or yeah, after the IP complaint, because IP complaint is kind of like a chopping block. They get chopped there, everyone can't sell, but if you list 1 minute later, yeah, you're on it, it's absolutely fine. It doesn't stop you from selling, it just gives people IP complaints, which basically means you've got to prove you're authentic, or should we say, prove you're not breaching intellectual property, should we say. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, it does happen, really annoying. Oh, Bab. We have also watched the whole of your infrastructure video with Saras. Your content is worth more than you realize. Ah, thank you. I jumped into these eyes. FBA have so much information. Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, um, I, I, I'm. There's a really interesting thing when you think about kind of like other people when you're learning. I'm really interested to learn not only about their journey and how they got here, but really like where they are now. What does it look like? Tell me about the structure of the team. How does that operate? And I literally kind of, with Saros, I kind of drew it all out, um, and I really wanted to understand, what does his business look like? What are the roles? How does it operate through? From that, you can start to think about how the processes within the companies are used. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but you just learn from different people. And you can see like how people structure their companies and also how you can grow that, but also how they struggled with it and what's happened and how you can do it better. I have quite a different structure and I talk about that. But like that's the kind of areas that I like to look into. I like to look into like I'm not here to do the business. I'm here to get the business running. I'm here to do it. And if I can go on to interviews with people and really start to understand how their operations work, then it's going to really allow me to do it. Why? Because I think of business at a very fundamental level as like a cog, a machine. It's a series of cogs working, and it's people. It's generally people and processes. And if you can start to map other people's processes and things, you can generally start to get similar results. Um, and I find that very fascinating. So thank you for the feedback. And yeah, I don't think we called it infrastructure. It's just an interview with Saras, and I know him personally, but very smart guy, very intelligent, and works damn hard and very successful as well. 8-figure Amazon OA seller. But it's really nice for him to be able, it's really good of him actually also as well to share the structure of that company and the way he operates. And we do a lot of that within my business. I share the structure. But there's a lot more like layers to the onion, should we say? So structure is high level, and then for each individual role, you can start to break it down, and you can start to create KPIs for each role. And then what you can do is you can start to map how each role helps the next role and how the measurables can support them. And also you can see problems in like how the structure of the company works because the KPIs don't add up. Should we say, for example, if I give you a really good example in our business, we look at like spend. So it might be like how much should they spend, what ROI are we spending at, and that generally leads to gross profit. And then once we realize that is like the sources are responsible for finding those deals. They come through the purchaser buys them. Those spends from the sources all add up to the purchaser. The purchaser will then spend them onto Amazon, and then you can kind of get a forecast of where your business should be in like, let's call it the average turnaround time is 1.5 months. So in 1.5 months, here's where we should be. Now you can start forecasting. And then you can say, because I know where I'm going to be in 1.5 months, I can now make a prediction of where, or I can then say a goal, I want to be at 10 million in sales. I can use that same process I've just worked forward, starting at the 10 million, working backwards. And then I can work out the operational infrastructure that I need for my team to do it. So it's really interesting, but it's a really good point. So thank you for sharing. And I'm glad you found value for them. And if there's anyone you want me to interview, do let me know. Let's kind of go through on Instagram. Say Saeed99. Is it possible to buy things from Marshalls or any other place and on Amazon? Oh, and sell it on Amazon. Yeah, fine. Like, just so long as the products you're buying are real, not fakes, and you reals, not fakes. And the idea is that they're new. And I mean, the boxes are new. Everything looks new. Like when you sell it to the customer on Amazon, it's got to look new. The customer's got to be like, wow, this looks amazing. Absolutely love it. Like, I'm happy. Not like, oh, box is broken. That's not good enough. So generally, you're fine. And also, as long as it doesn't have like a warranty or anything, that'd be a really important point. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah. Oh, Bab, glad I could help you out. Ellie Stern. Hi, Tom. Amazon is losing some stuff from my incoming inventory into Amazon, but are refusing the store receipts as proof of purchase. It might be are you doing in-store receipts? It could be that the in-store receipts aren't good enough. It could be the case that you might want to email the supplier and say, "Can I get an invoice, a copy of it?" That could work. Um, Also, sometimes like I've never really done RA very much. Like one day I did it, and I was like, never again. Um, but it might be the case that the receipts that you've got aren't the receipts that they want to see, i.e., they don't have enough detail about what you purchased. That could be a problem. This is also one of the problems with RA in the fact that they don't really like those receipts. They like paperwork because we're used to paperwork from suppliers. Like your wholesalers would generally give you a paper receipt, like a A4 nice printout. Not. I'd probably recommend like seeing if you can email a supplier, ask for a better one, or it might be that you have to take, just take the hit. If you can't get it back, it could be the receipt's not good enough. Hope that makes sense. And sorry, I know it's not exactly what you wanted. She's had, what's your average cost of prep center receiving your inventory and preparing your stock and sending it to Amazon? I think in the US it's about $1.20, where X sales tax has nothing else on that. It could be down to a dollar. And then in the US, in the UK, by the way, it could have changed. It's been by the way, it's been like 3 years since I sourced and purchased. I'm not going to lie. So it'll be, I think it's about 55p per unit, ex VAT for that. So yeah, I think it's about 55p per unit, which is probably higher than what other people would pay at my volumes, but it's like an all-in-one fee, everything's done, and it's very easy for us to calculate on. So definitely an opportunity there. So yeah, that's it. Hope that makes sense. She does. Let me know if there's any other questions. How long did it take you to make 10K? We did, I think it was about 160K my first year. I can't tell you how long, like maybe like 5 months. You just kind of pick up. But look, to be honest, making 10K isn't very hard. You just buy 5K's worth of stock and sell it at break even, or like sell it, close to, or 6K's worth of stock at break even. Making 10K profitably, that's a challenge. That's the one that you want to get to. So anyone can buy stock and sell it. What you are really looking to do is to try and get should we say, the items profitable. That's going to be the challenge for you. So I wouldn't focus on growing to 10K. I'd focus on growing my business so that I know how to make a profit. That's where I'd focus to, and I wouldn't gun to the 10K mark. We've done it before, like my USA business, we did gun. I think you can see it there, but we try like to, I think we try and, oh my God, I'm losing my marbles. Man needs more coffee. But yeah, you can go to 10K, but just try and make sure it's profitable. That's the point. Be careful on the metrics you track. With gift sets, I was referring more to sets with different items and they're not multi-packed to the same ASIN. We worry Aria won't accept the invoice that says gift set and not a single ASIN. Maybe, and it could be the case that you just be a bit careful on your thing. Like if your whole business model strategy is going to go down that, you might struggle. But what you might do is you might say, if you've got a couple of like lines, SKUs, ASINs where they're like that, I'd say like fine, try it. Also, so I just try and make sure that they're kind of products where people are unlikely to, should we say, they're inauthentic. Beauty is a very high likelihood of inauthentic complaints, so just be careful with that. Or if anyone's unhappy about it, then you need to make sure you give them a full refund, like no questions asked, so they don't complain it's inauthentic. All it takes is I want to get a refund, click the inauthentic, I think it's fake. That's going to be trigger it. So just be mindful of that. So beauty is a problem, which I'm probably sure is the area that you're looking at right now in that context. Bab, what AOA sourcing strategy would you recommend to a newbie? People are going to hate me for it, but I will say it because I've also seen it quite recently on Twitter. I would really, a lot of people will say is storefront stalking. Like it's copying other people's deals. It's not the good way to grow a business long term, but it can help. You're going to decrease your margins by doing it because you're going to be you're increasing the likelihood of competition, but it will show you what deals that you should be finding or looking at that everyone else is finding quicker. It's kind of like copying everyone OA's deals. Generally speaking, look for sellers with less than 200 reviews and then everything's only FBA in their inventory, and then that'd be storefront stalking. And the only other one I'd probably look at if you're doing OA is niche down in regards to a specific field, and you can start to load up the coupon codes, the cashback, and the way it works. I think that's where I would be looking at as well. So Elbab, I hope that makes sense. 0.55 plus VAT, is that including shipping to Amazon? No, you've got UPS on top of that. So UPS is a separate charge because UPS is billed to your Amazon account directly. This is just what the prep center pays me. So in the UK, I think it's 50 or 55 plus VAT, and then we do about 24p shipping for Amazon. And that's what we put in our calculations to kind of make the update. So I hope that makes sense. Got anything, guys, on Instagram. Nope, motivation for a purpose is joined as well. Hey, motivation for a purpose. And then this is for OA. Where's that? Ellie Stern. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, is OA. Oh, okay, fine. So you're okay. You said store receipts. It might be the receipts you've got from the store are not store receipts. They could be, have you replied back and say, can I have an invoice, please? This is after purchase. If you get an email which is like dispatch notice, that won't be good enough. You literally have to probably contact the supplier and say, can I have a receipt, please? After you've purchased them, you have to do a manual process or download the invoice. It's because you said receipt. Like, okay, it's fine. The other one is you might have to ask, just say, hey, can you raise this case to a supervisor? My receipts are official. This is correct. It could be that you're, by escalating it, you're asking that you're saying there's a problem with the team member. Try that. It's not an easy process. Like Amazon want to fight you because it's costing their bottom line. They probably want to minimize it. I hope that makes sense. She's out. Hey, thanks, mate. Cool, no problem. I'm just going to show you this. Look at this. Let me come out here. I'm going to show you it, and then this is where I am right now. So if you want to know, I'm out in the Philippines. And let's kind of get out here. Got my little GoPro on the go. Look, out in. It's got the tide has gone out. Come to it sideways. There you go. We've got beautiful like islands over there. So really happy with that. Voila. Very nice. It's gone out, so I will obviously wait for that to come back in again, but we shall see. Down here is okay, not great. I wouldn't go swimming down here, but I would go swimming in the sea further out. Beautiful green water, and you see it when you flew in. You're like, wow! But then I've got a nice hotel pool upstairs, so loving that as well. I think that's pretty much it, guys. If you've got any questions, do let me know. But I think I'll probably wrap it up there, pretty much on time. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone coming in. If you're here, give me a love heart, give me a thumbs up, and obviously, hopefully, I've added some value. I'll see you again tomorrow, same time. I won't be live on Friday because it's Saturday my time, and I quite like having some sleep on the weekend. So I will just say, if you guys have got questions, anything you want to do, let me know. Come back tomorrow. It'll be the same time. And old Bab said, thank you, bud. Take care. Hit the like button. Give me a big thumbs up on Instagram. I just want to say a big thank you, guys. Stay safe. Bye.